I'm sad that she broke tradition. She's no longer the goddess Ahem. Which I'm a little bummed out about, but yes, my thoughts on episode 5 of the World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated into Another World. Pretty mellow episode, but a lot of important things happen in this episode despite that. So let's jump into it. So opening up the episode, we get a quick perspective of yet another warrior that the goddess had brought over, reincarnated into this world. It was 35 years prior. We have a samurai actually brought into this world. And yeah, this samurai seems to have failed. It seems like he actually trained and did go after the hero, which is nice. But yeah, unfortunately, it kind of just shows him saying, "You're the hero, right?" And then this big ball of flame comes to this kind of hallway and just takes him out. So the assumption is he failed. I don't know that he found the hero because it kind of seemed like he wasn't really 100% sure that it was a hero, but he failed either way. This one we get a perspective of Lou coming back into our current time, that everybody in the area really likes him. The winter's over and it looks like people are happy that he's helped them with like fertilizer and help with reservoirs getting refilled and gave him a whole bunch of vegetables and everything and thanks for what he's done. And then he kind of helps some person with a cow. And this is where we have Tart pointing out the fact that he's put a lot of emphasis on gaining the favor of the people. Like, he could just go out and kill a bunch of bandits, but he thinks by strength alone, he won't gain the favor of the people. And if he's looking to become the head of the house, he's got to really focus on gaining their loyalty and their favor through doing lots of things for them. Which she kind of points out, are you being kind to me to gain my favor too? And he's like, yep, I need you. It's not even really hiding it. But yes, when we find out that he actually has a whole slew of these fur stones. Apparently he's been recreating them using the one that he was given by Dia. And he's been recreated them, which I guess technically not too much of a surprise. I mean, he's been creating gold, so why not these stones? But yeah, apparently he's been taking them with him everywhere in order for him to build up mana, because he needs a whole crap ton of them, apparently. So he's just been kind of gathering them up and allowing them to build up their mana. I think he has enough to take out a nation by this point, I think. This is where we have a meeting with Lou and his father. Apparently he is now asking him, after 2 years of being with Tart, does he believe that she's a spy? From Lou's perspective, he's been watching her for this entire 2 years, looking at her mannerism, how she speaks, how she looks around, signs that you would look for if you're looking for somebody that's lying, like blinking and stuff like that. And he says that he's got no signs of it, though he does recognize the idea that her coming there at that specific time seems to be very convenient. Obviously, we've gotten a little perspective that Lou thinks that it could have been the goddess that led her there, but I guess he's still kind of hesitant of her, because how he was looking for somebody with mana, couldn't find anybody, and then suddenly, poof, somebody appears in the woods while he's out hunting. Seems a little convenient. But either way, this is where we find out that Lou has one more mission, one more step that he needs to take by his father's guidance in order for him to become a full-fledged assassin. He has to duel his father in combat, and whether he wins or lose, he could still win. And it seems like his father gives up quite a fight. They had quite a little bit of a fight there. Lou's kind of cornered a little bit, just because he knows that his father is a skilled doctor and that he knows how the body works. Creaks in the bones, sweat, all these kind of things that he's looking for in a body, he's able to find him. And obviously, since it's his son, he knows his son more than anybody else, so it makes it a little more easier for his father to find him. Despite this, he kind of lets himself be caught in order to bring his father in to do his, last strike, which obviously lends him the win. Which is obviously very surprising for his father. His son, this young 12-year-old, is able to beat him. I did find it funny that the entire time Lou has white hair, and it's like, why are you hiding with your white hair out exposed? It was like white, silverish, but it's like, okay, you stand out quite a bit in the dark, but I guess, maybe in the dark it's a little bit less seeable. Maybe just for perspective of us seeing it in animation, it's a little easier to see. But having passed this, it's now time for him to go out into actual assassinations. So he goes with his father to all these different assassinations. Some are just kicking people off buildings, some making it look like it's a bandit attack, some just dropping poison with a string, but everything through the guidance of his father. So it's not like he's out there alone on these missions. It doesn't seem like his time is quite yet. It seems like his mission is going to be in 2 years. He's going to train under this other guy as a merchant, as a disguise, to go into somewhere as his final mission. It seemed like he was pointing out that it was something to do with the castle itself. Like, he has to get into the castle. And so while Luke can become like a chef or something like that, because he's really good at cooking, he feels that his father feels that being a merchant's better, because anybody that can bring in goods or whatever is kind of brought in without question, it seems. So he's going to be working under the head of the Balor Trading Company as his son. He says that he's registered him. A son was born at the same time he was under this guy of the Ballard Trading Company. And this guy agreed to this apparently because they've done a favor for him in the past, so he's more than happy to register a son that was born even though he wasn't. But this is the identity that he'll take in order to sneak under this family. And it seems like Tart's going to go with him, which I think would kind of blow his cover, but sure, have Tart with come because we don't want to leave Tart behind. It was interesting because we had this little meeting where they were celebrating Lou and him becoming the head of the family, or soon to be head of the family. And somebody popped up, I don't know, like this random guy just popped up out of nowhere, this Ronin guy. And this Ronin guy apparently was expecting to become the next head of the family because of the death of Lou's brother. But obviously, Lou is much more trained, he's much more skilled, he's much more stronger, so obviously he's going to be the head, not this random Ronin guy who's not very good, it seems. But still, guys protesting it, and we have this little show of strength that Lou does to show him how not strong the guy is. And it was interesting because when I seen this guy, I was like, okay, here's going to be this nasty guy that's in the background constantly cackling and trying to spew up some sort of trouble for Lou in the future. But no, it was interesting because like right following this whole scene, Lou confronts him and says, hey, I want you to be my subordinate. I want you to become the knight of this area. Which I thought was really cool. Like, it was a different perspective than just the typical, okay, this is the guy that's always in the background cackling and trying to thwart Lou, and then eventually Lou has to confront him. No, he's actually going to be using him as a subordinate, which I thought was cool. It was like this aspect of, you lost, but here is this olive branch. Here's an opportunity for you. And I thought that was really cool. And yeah, following this is when Lou leaves home to go to this Balor family where he's going to now become Illig Balor from this point on until he's 14 and he does his mission. And yeah, like I said, Tart goes with him, and it was actually because the mother kind of says something to Tart like, do exactly what I taught you. I'm curious what that's going to end up being, but yeah. The title for the next episode has big question marks up. The title of the next episode is Residence of Girls, so I'm guessing the Balor family is just going to be full of girls, and so he's going to be surrounded by a bunch of girls, so here we go. We already building up the harem, probably. But like I said, significant episode, just not really too much, like, whole crazy. That was crazy happening. Besides, I think probably the whole Ronin guy, like I said, they kind of took that in a different way than I thought they would. Also, in the beginning segments with the samurai, she specifically says, I'm going to try out a samurai now. So it does seem like there's a purpose for her trying all these different styles. Like, they had a special forces guy. They had, obviously, Lou's an assassin. They had a guy that was a samurai, apparently. So she's trying different options, which are all obviously failing. It was interesting that the samurai turned into some sort of, I don't know, fencer when he went to that world, which I don't really know why. But as per usual, even though I didn't get the ahem part, it is funny to see that she actually still keeps to the belittling thing whenever she brings him in. So for this one, it's like, oh, you were this very skilled samurai, but yet you died to seppuku. Kind of like the special forces guy that died. The assassin that died to assassination. She loves making fun of people. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. Lou apparently going to his first mission that will first involve him probably being surrounded by a harem of the family he's going to. A bunch of sisters, older sisters and little sisters probably surrounding him, but we'll see how harem-y this show gets. But that's my thoughts on episode 5 of The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video if you can. Support us on Patreon and the tips links in the description below. And we thank everybody that does. And y'all take care.